Now, there once was a wise man who lived on a mountain, and the people in the valleys down below would often go up to seek his wisdom. Well, not really. In reality, they just went up there to complain. They went up there to complain and criticize other people. They went up there to blame the people in the other valleys about their own misfortunes. And so the wise man, one day when a crowd was forming in front of him, he decided to try something just a little bit different. He started off with a joke. In fact, it was a very, very funny joke. It was so funny that every single person in that crowd, from the youngest to the oldest, burst out in uncontrollable laughter. They laughed and they laughed and they laughed. And when their laughter finally subsided, the wise man, he continued to speak. He spoke about this and he spoke about that for about 10 minutes. But then he repeated the same joke a second time. And this time, only about half the crowd laughed. And when they stopped laughing, which didn't take long, the wise man, he continued to speak. He spoke about this and he spoke about that for about 10 minutes. But then he repeated the exact same joke for a third time. And this time, no one laughed. And the wise man concluded by saying, "Why is it that you won't laugh at the same joke more than once or twice, and yet you seem to find unending pleasure in criticizing and tearing other people apart?" Now, there's a lot of truth in that, isn't there? There's something within us, something about our human nature, something about our human psyche, that we get a thrill out of tearing other people down, criticizing other people, talking behind their back when they're the most vulnerable. We get a dopamine hit, an adrenaline rush by doing that. Perhaps it's like my dog. Whenever he hears a sudden loud noise, whenever he sees some quick movement, say when I'm wrestling with one of my kids, a switch gets turned on inside of his canine brain. His inner wolf comes out and he starts barking and gets very aggressive. And in many ways, that's like us when we see the vulnerability of someone else, when we see the opportunity to tear someone else down. A switch gets turned on inside of our heads. Our inner chimp, our inner savage comes out. And we have this desire to burn their village down to the ground. Now, while we all have that within us, we face those temptations daily. There are those individuals, right, who take it one step further. We all know those odd individuals from either at school, at work, or unfortunately, maybe even at church. Those who are known by everybody else as being gossips, as being slanderers, as being people who just want to criticize and tear other people down. And the thing is with these people, though, it's just not enough for them to criticize other people. What really thrills them, what really entices them, what really empowers them is to get other people to join in with them, to form a mob, to get other people to pick up a pitchfork and follow them, to get other people to pick up a torch and follow them as they go to burn down someone else's village. And it's unfortunate in our culture today where it seems that it's these kinds of people who have the megaphones of our culture. And of course, the greatest megaphone of all is social media. It's a place where it's a perfect storm for our inner chimp, our inner savage to come out. It's a place because of its, you will say things and do things that you would never say or do in front of an actual person, someone that you would meet face to face. And for these people, not only is it a thrill that they can just criticize and tear down people, but it's also the perfect place for them to form mobs. Large mobs, just not dozens of people, not just hundreds of people, not even just thousands of people, but it can be millions of people. They get a great thrill in stirring people up. And their greatest desire is to recruit you, to recruit me, to pick up a pitchfork and follow their lead. For us to pick up a torch and follow them and burn down the village of those that they don't like. The question is, will we give into our inner chimp, our inner savage? Or will we say no and back away?